Welcome back, everybody. Going to bang out a couple listener or viewer questions today. And as I'm shooting outside, there's been a couple that have really been on the back of my mind, and I'm going to go ahead and start answering some of those now. So first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody who has been following along, commenting. New subscribers, thank you. We're going to be actually announcing a giveaway at the end of this video, or some of the details on the giveaways, so stay tuned on that. Let me see here. Okay, so on one of the videos I did, I believe it might have been even on the landslide, Matt G question says, hey man, I ordered an 80-pound RX-7 Ultra as well, have a landslide on my RX-5, which I love, but it's been a bit of a love-hate. You got it dialed in. Question is, do you have to slide your sight all the way down on the pick rail because of the high speed? Question mark. I'm curious, as I will be setting up against the same modes. Whenever Hoyt sends me my bow, you seem extremely experienced, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So basically the dynamics of the setup on the bow. And the answer to this question is, and again, it's regardless of any sight that I set up, the front sight adjustment is a direct correlation to where your peep sight is set up. And as I anchor and almost roll my hand up high on my jawbone, that reduces that peep sight to arrow measurement. So at full draw, again, this is where it matters. Once you're at full draw, that peep sight to arrow measurement is what's going to dictate what your sight setting is, or where your sight starting point is. And then from that starting point, obviously, if you're checking it or you're getting it set up at a closer distance, when you start to move a slider like this, then it's going to depend on the correlation of how far you adjust you can adjust the slider sight. So on almost all of my sights, this one again is similar to the landslide, I had to take and move the overall block down and mount it in its lowest position, which the two screws are up high, but takes that block down, and that gives me my best range of motion. Okay. There's other things you can do. I mean, if I had to go a little bit more, I can actually take the pick rail attachment and run it down a little bit more. That's also something you can do. The limiting factor, this sight has more adjustment than I can ever get out of it. Most sights are the case for me because of that lower peep height, which dictates the lower block starting point, which then is going to limit how far this housing goes before it's going to get too close to contact to my arrow. So again, based off of where your peep location is, and again, you can actually get a measurement once you're at full draw, measure from peep to your arrow, and then that's one that you can always remember and save, because that should be pretty consistent with whatever, as long as you don't mess with your anchor point or change your draw length. So this is how I set mine up. That's where it suits best. If I took this block higher and mounted it in its center position, then I might not be able to utilize all the slider setting. So I hope that kind of cleared up a little bit on that question as far as where I start my sight and why I start it there. Like I said, it's all dependent on where your sight setting starts. All right, question number 2. Keith Mills, I've thought about hinge releases, but hesitant about how they perform when it comes to hunting. If you're ready to let it fly and the animal takes a half a step, isn't it too late to send it? Great question, Keith. That answer, I think, is a super subjective answer, or has a lot of variables. And one, I guess I'm gonna answer a question with a question. How many times have you been at full draw with an animal standing perfectly steady, you cut the shot and they've moved on the shot? It can happen at any point, right? So I think that the best way to consider hunting with a hinge, or anything that's not a trigger style release, is the more comfortable you are with the release, the better you understand the release. The more you understand the release, the more you're going to understand your limitations. And I've shot animals moving before with my hinge. However, they were inside of 20 yards and moving very slowly. And it was one of those deals that I made the decision, and I was decisive about making that decision. As soon as I felt like I could make the shot, I did it. But that's for everybody to decide for themselves. I can't tell you, yes, take a moving shot, or no, take a moving shot. Nobody can tell you that, because if I tell you that and you take a moving shot and the animal is moving faster than you thought, you're aiming front on the shoulder and you end up hitting the guts, or whatever you decide to aim and hold and execute, and whatever happens. Too many moving parts, right? Size of animal, distance of shot, speed of arrow, type of broadhead. So there's a ton of moving parts. So the best thing I would say is understand your setup, understand your limitations. I've actually shot, not with this specific hinge, but I've shot pop-up tournaments before with the hinge. Like I said, I have shot some animals moving before, a handful with my hinge, and I've had good luck with those situations because I've really understood my release. The other thing I'll tell you is, whenever you're considering hunting with a hinge, and any release for that matter, I really try to encourage people to limit or minimize how sensitive that release is. If you got a hair trigger and you're in a situation where you're breathing hard or something's moving, you move just a little bit, too much in an awkward position, and you expand on that shot based off how you move. And if your form and alignment's not perfect through that, that shot will go off. It'll dump on you if it's too light. If you have to work through your shot a little bit more, I almost prefer that, because I know that if that animal's about to stop or he's in my window and my release is not set super fast, I know how to manipulate or activate that shot quicker by adding more rotation a little bit quicker to get it to fire. And that's where understanding yourself, understanding your release, the more you practice with it, the more confident you'll be with it. So if somebody's new to hunting with the hinge and they're going into this turkey season coming up or fall, I may say, just don't take a moving shot. Maybe down the line you'll be able to, but unless that animal's standing where you need to, broadside, quartering, whatever your shot angle you choose to take that into consideration. Try to pick your best shot scenarios. You're going to be limited on some early on. There are going to be some shots that you don't take or you can't take because of the situation and the tools, but that's okay. If that release gives you the opportunity to make the best executed shot, that's at the end of the day the most important thing. Accuracy is paramount, always. So thanks, Keith. Like I said, it's a roundabout question, answer to a great question, but great question nonetheless. All right, last one I'm going to touch on before I get into the details of what we're going to be doing giveaway-wise. All right, I believe it's Nitin Varma asked a question. Could you please provide the details on the book on the table, Shoot or Don't Shoot? So the book Shoot or Don't Shoot is the second book, that short book that I've written, and that really gets into understanding effective range, breaking down effective range by means of accuracy and your bow setup, and your bow effective and your efficiency on your bow. So we take everything into account, right? We take in your arrow build, your bow setup, kinetic energy, momentum, if you will, and then we go out and we test you in certain parameters to determine your effective range. Within your effective range, then we go through and we try to cluster. We create 3 clusters within your effective range and try to help give you green light, red light situations within each cluster. And we do that by starting out again with effective range. We go through the process of talking about all the different moving parts, right? Different shot angles, species. We talk about distance. We talk about different elements like wind and shot position. And we try to simplify it to where once you can get back to just understanding, for example, if my effective range is 60 yards and I break it into equal clusters, 20, 40, 60, I know that my 0 to 20 cluster, which is my first third, odds are 90 to 95% of the possible shot scenarios out there are going to be green light for me. But as you move into your second third, some of those shot scenarios start to fall off. Again, maybe like a frontal shot. Some people decide to take it or not. Maybe that's in a first third cluster. Maybe it's not in your middle cluster anymore. Maybe a quartering 2 shot. Maybe it's something you consider on a first third cluster. Maybe not in your middle cluster. And again, like into your last cluster, that's where those limited shots on that last third of your effective range is where I feel most people should do better with self-regulating themselves, because more things can happen in the field, especially as you get into that last third of your effective range. Anyway, that's what the book really kind of focuses on, helping you quantify energy, effectiveness, and then break it out into thirds. And that book is also available as an audiobook on my website, alphabowhunting.com. So thanks for the questions, great questions. I've been answering other questions as I get them, as they come through. So keep them coming. What I want to start doing is I'm going to start doing a monthly giveaway that's directly correlated to those viewers that decide to take the time to comment and Even though there's been a handful that are always that interesting dumbass comment that you might just get from whoever. Bring them. I mean, it's one of those deals. I'm not perfect. I'm not right. I'm just here to help you try to be a better version of yourself with a bow in your hand while you're in the woods. And if I can help you get there by something that I've studied or learned or worked on other people's bows or mistakes I've made, then I'm doing my job to help you get better as a bow hunter. So bring the questions, comments, whatever. It could just be a thumbs up. That's going to get you in the running for these giveaways. So some of the examples of products we're going to be giving away. I've got a Kafaru quiver that's going to be coming up quick. I've got a Hamsky rest that we're going to be giving away. We've got some Wilderness Athlete products and some Black Rifle coffee that we're going to be giving away. So those are the upcoming giveaways that we're going to start announcing. And what I'm going to do on some of these is I'm just going to be posting it on a little short video, quick video throughout the week. So leave the comments. Those people that have been commenting on the videos from this year so far, you're in the running. And we're going to keep moving forward with, again, reviews on accessories. We're going to be talking about events, alpha events coming up. We're going to be talking about upcoming hunts and past hunts. I've got some videos coming up here where touching on some of those biggest mistakes I've made in the field, with elk hunting, for example, is a video that I've got coming up, and it's personal experiences that I've dealt with. Mistakes I've made that have helped me become better in the field, and if you can take something from it, then I hope it helps you. But videos, any of the videos that we've posted from this year, 2022, leave your comment, leave your comments and your questions. Give me a like and a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe. If you feel like this content is up your alley and you're enjoying it, and so subscribers and commenters are going to get in the running for the giveaways. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for the questions. Keep them coming. I'll do a video like this hopefully about once a month with catching up on some of the questions I've received that just take a little bit longer to explain than I can type in a response. And sometimes I'll do the best I can, but anyway, a little bit longer format of answering questions. So thanks again. See you guys soon.